viewers, and welcome to Career Chronicles, where we give you expert advice and also profile different individuals who are making an impact in our community. With me tonight, George Nyando. Stay tuned. Good day, viewers. Today we welcome Mariam Shihepo on expert advice. She worked in communications at the Namibia Statistics Agency, also known as NSA. Mariam, you're welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, George. A very good evening to all the viewers. I'm actually very happy to be here.
So, Mariam, I would like you to take us through what really inspired you to go into communications.
Probably to give a background story. I was raised and born in a small diamond town, and I was raised by my dad and my siblings. So my dad was a videographer as well as a photographer. He would always take a few shots of us at church, probably singing, with sports. So already cling there, you know, if your dad has already been working in such an environment, I think I was also groomed in such a manner. But then to get to the point, my dad was very involved in political news. He would always read the newspapers. Matter of fact, he would always send me to buy a newspaper every single day at 5 p.m. because small towns in the south, you know, papers arrive at a very later stage. So me running around to go buy a newspaper every single day, I then thought that, it's actually interesting. I would always page and see journalists writing different types of pieces, and I was very inspired. So first things first is I thought I would become a journalist, and then at a later stage, because I was also involved in acting as well as poetry at school, I then thought, okay, maybe let me become a presenter, because I was also inspired by, you know, the later shows of Watagwan and Tinot. And then I got to a point where I'm like, okay, let me go into the media space and see where I fit in, because I think my grooming already got to such a point, right? And how I got to the NSA is I first used to run a hair business, which is called Rapunzel.na. And after I finished with my graduation, I then started looking for jobs, because now you want experience for what you have studied. You apply here and there, and then you get rejections and whatnot. And then on a very good day, I decided, okay, let me apply to the NSA. And I remember that day, my sister and I were running around to certify documents.
Yes.
And to just really help me.
It's always that pressure.
It's always that pressure, and financially as well.
Yeah.
So we actually but she actually assisted me by going to the NSA. We were together, and we handed in our documents. And she said a little prayer, a very silent prayer. I didn't know until we got out. So I think, that's how I actually got to the NSA, and that's how I got to actually be involved in communications.
In communications and media. And I think that your journey is so inspiring, because if you look at a lot of Namibian people, they have a lot of inspiration from their childhood.
Definitely.
However, when they get to the university stage, they don't really get the opportunity to do what they always wanted. And that comes with maybe, pressure from parents, from friends, classmates, and all of that. So to see that you followed your inspiration from a child to now living that dream. Take us through where did you study? Yes. So can you take us through where did you study?
University of Namibia. I studied at the University of Namibia under the supervision of a lovely lady, a lovely lecturer. Her name is Miss Antoinette Kakuyaha as well.
Yeah, all my lecturers as well.
Right? So they were my supervisors, and I always say that it's a good thing to have lecturers that not only teach, but lecturers that understand their students and also motivate them to become better communicators.
Yes, I can also attest to that, because they are also my lecturers, and you can see how much they push you to just
Yeah.
You know.
So I specialized in public relations and advertising. So I'm still in the communication field.
Yeah, you're still in the communication field. So speaking of the communication field, you work for the Namibia Statistics Agency, and it's quite a very big organization in the country.
Yes.
So has that always been your vision?
Yeah.
Or is it something that, you got the opportunity and you just took it?
Vision, yes. In terms of working for a big company, yes. Government-wise, not really. But then, at the end of the day, you should look at the current reality on the ground as Namibians.
Yes.
We can't really be picky and choosy.
Yeah.
But I then ended up at the Namibia Statistics Agency, and it's quite a big company, and you have so many different people from different backgrounds, and you're seated with demographers, statisticians, economists, and then you get the cool people, the communication specialists, and something that I really like about our field is that we're allowed to paint our noses red. We're allowed to say a slang, and because we're creative people, we're allowed to be whoever we want to be.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's the beauty of being in the communication industry.
Definitely.
Because you also do have the freedom to be creative and just do a lot of things.
Yes.
So looking at your journey, working in communication, what are some things, some lessons that you have learned?
Yeah, the lessons I've learned throughout the way is remember, you can be a communication specialist for health. Tomorrow it's a communication specialist for finance. And then I find myself in the communication field of statistics. So you really just learn to adapt or die. And you learn that it's not always going to work out your way. So you learn to coexist. You learn that, you can't go far in life without people. And also, one thing I would really advise is that you should read a lot, especially when you're coming into a new field. You should really read a lot. Read on statistics, read on the policies, go on the websites, look at the external stakeholders, and just really try and familiarize yourself with the type of field that you are in.
Yeah. So I think looking at what you have mentioned, I think it's what at least I'm taking from it is that in communications you need to be flexible.
Yes.
You need to read a lot because it's a variety of topics that you need to know as a communicator. So that's really important, and thank you so much for sharing that.
And people, look at you or you have to manage the perception of the company. So you must really know what you are doing at the end of the day. Yeah.
And very, very important, guys, if you want to get into communications, she just said it to us. Anyways, so I would like you to perhaps maybe highlight some of the moments where you were really proud of yourself and proud of the work that you've done within the communication space.
Well, I think, is it safe to say that I'm still looking for that big break?
Yes.
I don't think there's something yet that I can really put on the table that, okay, I'm proud of this. For me, I'm still looking for that big break, that breakthrough. There's something that my mom always says in Oshiwambo, and she says, "More training ihamudiwa," meaning that you never really leave training. So even if I was a CEO tomorrow, or maybe the president tomorrow, then I'm still being trained. I'm still training myself on how to work with people. I'm still training my personality, character building, character pruning. So I'm still looking forward to that big break. But for now, we are very calm.
Yeah, but I also think that you really have put out a lot of amazing work.
Okay.
And I'm so proud of you for that. I mean, I've attended some of the events that you've organized myself, and you can see that there's so much effort that's put into it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so speaking about, being in the communication space, being flexible, having to learn a lot about yourself and also about the industry that you're in. What are some of the challenges that you perhaps highlight that you have faced throughout the way, or maybe you have not necessarily faced them, but maybe they're just like challenges that are within the media and communication space.
Within the media and communication space, probably I would always like to not personalize, but to talk from experience.
Yes.
When I entered the NSA, I didn't really know what I was signing up for. I was just looking forward to learning and growing. And then I realized that, there's more to it, because I initially came in as a census publicity officer.
Yeah.
So once we started with our work, I then realized that, there's more to it. We are now being sent into the field to go and have stakeholder engagements and publicity. And when people think about publicity, or when people look at publicity, they probably think, you're just going to an open area or targeted area to put up posters and just publicize the census, publicize the upcoming projects.
Yes.
But it's actually deeper than that. You have to plan, and then when you're sent out in the field, you then go to stakeholders engagements where you're talking to regional and constituency level, where you're talking to councillors, governors, and just all sorts of stakeholders, and you really just encourage them, not only encourage them, but you persuade them and tell them that, we have an upcoming survey, may you please support us in this regard, it's happening in this region. I'm sure you know by now with the surveys that we have, it normally happens in all 14 regions, so we need each region to collectively play their part, and without these regional or constituency level stakeholders knowing about the project, then it will probably be of no use. So at the end of the day, you also send out the field staff, the enumerators to do their job, but you can't just end up knocking at someone's door without the community member knowing, or the chief of that area knowing. So you must first engage the community people, the leadership, and then you can do what needs to be done. So those are one of the challenges I think that I face, because being new as well, you just enter and then you realize, you actually need to go into the field, go report, do that, come back. There's content creation. It's a lot that comes into play.
So it's a lot of research. It's a lot of communications back and forth with different people.
Also remember that some things are portrayed as complex, like if we are talking about statistical or economical news, you will have to really study economics to understand it. So imagine being in a communications field, you have to first read and understand what is going on for you to really simplify the message and control the narrative for the people, and it really make things look nice for the people out there. They don't want to hear long or complex words, but they want to hear that something simple, something that they can understand, relate to, adverts, jingles, just something in that line.
I think I can also relate to that, because for example, when statisticians, is that what you call them?
Yes, that is what you call them.
When they have this data, big data, like not everybody is able to understand that information. So you guys also you have a lot of work to do in terms of breaking down this information for all of us to understand. And that in itself it's a challenge.
It's a challenge, yes. But at the end of the day, we make sure that we make sure that the audience get to understand what we're saying in the most creative way possible.
Okay, thank you, Miriam, so much for coming on here and sharing information with us. I've learned a lot, and I believe that our viewers as well have learned a lot. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, George, for having me on the show. It has been a pleasure, and I hope to come back again next time.
Yes, okay, viewers, we'll see you very soon. Welcome back, viewers. Today in Spotlight, I am joined by Gabriel Hango, one of the brilliant minds behind Palmotive Industries. Hango, thank you for coming. It's such an honor for me to have you today.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you for having us.
Yes, so can you tell us about Palmotive Industries, how did it come about? How did you guys introduce it? And just a background.
Started out back in 2022. Me and my colleague back then. We had an idea of like just starting our own company, similar to where we used to work at, doing the same branding stuff and everything. That was back in 2022.
2022.
Yeah. Then it's a thing of we had to save up a bit because you have to buy machinery and stuff.
Yeah.
So it took us a lot of years. By 2024 December, that's when we really now started doing things on our own. Then by January we both resigned to start
Your own company.
Yeah.
So you guys have been planning.
It pitched up as an idea in 2022.
2022.
Yeah, then it's a thing of we got comfortable in our positions where we were working at. Then by 2024, I would say early 2025, we started off.
Oh, amazing. So what are some of the strengths that each and every one of you bring to the company? And I'm just thinking one of it is resilience, because you guys really had a plan, an idea, and really brought it to life. So what do you think are some strengths that just like complements the both of you?
I would say our advantage is that we get along really well, our whole team. And we both specialize in the same industry, I would say.
In the industry.
Yeah. So let's say, for example, there's Gizmo, my partner. He's a designer, graphic designer, and branding specialist. I'm also just the same. So where we used to work at, he used to be the senior, and I was like a junior.
Junior.
Yeah. Then we teamed up again with Percy, who was like held the same position but at another company. Yeah. And now Matile Kapolola.
Oh.
He's more of a artsy guy, craftsman. Yeah. Let's say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are some challenges maybe you guys have gone through the way?
Number one, in the beginning, I would say discipline.
Discipline.
It took us a while to just dedicate. Everything we do is just we prioritize the job first, and anything else comes after. Or also communication, how work flows amongst us. Because it's a thing of if you don't communicate with the rest, we won't know what's going on really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a thing. Communication really was a barrier in the beginning, but now we are flowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice to see that you guys are, working on your weaknesses to ensure the company is going well. So where do you see it in the next 5 years or 10 years?
The next 5 years, I want it to be at least top 5 go-to branding company, at least in SADC.
Yeah. Yeah. So what role does innovation play in your design processes at Palmotive?
Sure, I don't understand.
Oh, okay. Let me just try to break it down a bit. So like, how do you see Palmotive Industries contribute to the country's economy, for example? Not even economy, but let me just say to even the smaller community.
I would say we would like to cater to small upcoming businesses that maybe think branding is like you have to spend a lot just to brand your place. So our target would be the SMEs and corporates as well. Yeah, I think creating jobs is one of them.
Yeah.
Also just making branding more convenient for everyone, because people maybe think it's a difficult thing to do.
Is it not expensive?
It's not expensive.
Oh.
It depends now on what you want also.
Okay.
Yeah.
So lastly, I would just say, what advice do you have for other young people that maybe want to start the same, to walk through the same path or even a different path? Like maybe what advice would you like to share with them?
you see when you have an idea, a plan, before dropping something to go through with your plan, just ensure that it's solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, before going forward with your plan, just ensure that I know you have it on lock.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, I guess.
All right. Okay, guys.
Maybe, oh yeah, just don't be shy to invest.
Oh yeah.
I'd say
Don't be shy.
Yeah, don't be shy
to
to
invest.
invest. Because
Invest.
sometimes it's hard to like let money go.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming here to share about Palmotive Industries. It's really one of the companies that I personally love, and I'm looking forward to work with very soon. So thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you so much for having us again.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was Palmotive Industries. I hope you guys learned one or two things, and stay tuned.
Name is Levi Nanyeni, and I am a senior forester here at the National Botanical Research Institute. A senior forester, but my title here, I am the curator of the Botanic Garden. So National Botanical Research Institute has got 7 sections, which one, we can say the National Herbarium, we've got the National Botanical Garden, we have a gene bank, we also have vegetation ecology, we have economic botany, we have the library for the reference collections, we have also plant tracking program. Right, so all these 7 sections, they're working together, and then in the end we want to achieve something called plant conservation and inventory. Right, so right now we're going to concentrate on the botanic garden, which also have 3 main components that I actually as a curator concentrate on to achieve. The one is plant conservation, second one could be education, and we also talk about the recreation. Since this is a botanic garden, for the recreation, I've got people, the member of the public come here, they enter the garden for free, they walk in the garden, there are beautiful paths, well maintained, to make sure that people, they don't trip, nothing is causing them harm. Um, in addition, as they walk, some of them they just walk for therapy, some of them they walk to look at the plants that they are interested in terms of study, like students or learners, because most of the plants in the garden, like any other botanic garden, they are labeled, and it gives more of the information. Remember, if you want to do any study regarding plant, what you need first is the scientific name. And us having the National Herbarium here, that just makes our work easier to assign scientific name, because that's where you basically start. Right. So that's a recreation. Now, education, um, groups from higher learning institutions, from high schools, from primary schools, they all come here to learn about plants, to learn about what we do here. And then the conservation, if you see or if you look into this, we call this desert house, we have most of the representation of plants growing in the desert. We call them succulents. Some of the plants, they are brought in from mines. When they were setting up mines, they have to destroy lots of plants. We have to go there and rescue plants. Some of them, they are brought in here because some people were trying to steal them. Um, we use the term now, poaching. We only know poaching about animals, but these days they are also focusing on plants. They're poaching them out, they're moving them out from their natural environment, and in many cases they get caught, so those plants has to come to the botanic garden. Some of them then, they are propagated. We grew them from seed simply because we get information that this plant is rare and is threatened and it's about to lose its natural environment due to many reasons. One could be development, other one could be again poaching, um, other one could be that the people are harvesting for own use, and if they don't do it sustainably, we end up with a plant that has gone extinct. So those are the three measures: education, recreations, and the conservation. So together, because I said we've got the gene bank as well, their role is just to collect seeds. Whereas the herbarium, they go and collect um, a herbarium specimen, and then they name it. In that case, they document, we get information of how rare this plant is, because then we can see or we can look at the distribution. In that case, we will have to take a step ahead to say we need to pay attention to this plant. Okay, right. So we have here most of the plants here, as I said, they are from the desert. That's why we've got a roof over them. They don't need extensive rainfall. Remember, in Windhoek we get, sometimes we got 350, we got 450 or 500. It's so much they can't deal with that. Then we put the roof and we control the watering. Okay.
Thank you, viewers, for joining me on Career Chronicles. Until next time, we'll see you guys.